You've got it figured out. All right, so welcome back. I'm using Yvonne's phone because the camera on it sucks. I've shown her a couple of times that the camera on my phone kind of sucks. But hey, so tonight's game, preseason between Vancouver and Seattle. Vancouver got off to a very good start. They scored a bunch, and then a goal got taken back for the offsides, and it's preseason, so you don't want to read too much into it, right? The big storyline in this, I think, is simple. You have Demko in net for the Canucks for the first two periods. Demko played quite well. Silovs went in. At least one of the goals that Seattle gets in that third period, I thought, well, Demko would have had that one. And I think it really just shows how important goaltending is to Vancouver this year in terms of they really can't afford a goaltender getting hurt named Thatcher Demko. They're in deep trouble if Demko were to get hurt this year. That is definitely something I get concerned with because they'd be looking at Martin, and I guess they could call up DiPietro, but Silovs is probably next in line. And yeah, so overall, I thought I was watching DeKeyser. I didn't see anything in DeKeyser's game that I think should cause him not to get a contract, but I didn't see anything from him that was spectacular either. So I'm on the fence with DeKeyser if they sign him. I mean, it doesn't hurt to have more depth on the blue line, right? We've seen that with other teams in the preseason. Kuzmenko, absolutely fantastic game by Kuzmenko. Really, really well played. I'm really impressed. He had 2 goals and an assist in this game, had a penalty as well, so he got on various parts of the score sheet. And yeah, I thought he played really well. Pettersson had a good start, a bit of a rougher finish for him. And as soon as that puck got turned over in the overtime, I just looked down. I was like, yeah, that's going in. And sure enough, it was a goal for Seattle and the game was over. So not really a surprise to me. I was actually glad it didn't go to a shootout, to be honest. I was actually kind of like, oh, there's overtime and it's preseason. No, that's not what preseason's for. I think preseason they should allow ties. I'd be fine with them allowing ties and just go straight to the shootout, to be honest. But I mean, in parts it was a bit of a tough watch, but pretty good game for being a preseason game. And yeah, I mean, Seattle, Tennyson went to the box a couple of times, which reminded me, oh right, Tennyson's in Seattle. And John Hayden seemed to want to fight everybody, which is kind of John Hayden's whole shtick, right? And then Hayden had a point tonight as well. So I think Hayden would consider tonight a success. And overall, I think Seattle has to be happy with where they're at in the preseason. Again, the games don't really matter. The results don't really matter. But at least for Seattle, there's some momentum there, right? They had the shutouts over Calgary and Edmonton, and now they've beaten Vancouver. So they have that going for them. And so again, it doesn't necessarily mean anything come regular season time, but there's some positives there. Shane Wright had an assist. I thought he played relatively well. I think it's pretty obvious he's going to make the team. I'd be very surprised if he didn't. But again, with Seattle, I was hoping Donskoy would get a goal tonight. You guys know I love Donskoy. Did not get a goal tonight. But again, those goals don't matter anyways. They get wiped out. So on some level, I was like, great, he's going to get a hat trick and then it's not going to matter. Speaking of which, Kuzmenko almost had the hat trick. Did not happen. Too bad. But yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to add. It's preseason. I would love to have this nice long soliloquy on how great or how bad the game was, but it's preseason. So there were a lot of people that left before the game was over. I can't say I really I can't say I blame them necessarily, because again, it was obvious once it became 3-3. Well, we know where the momentum is, but it wasn't an A lineup for either team. So you just read into it whatever you'd like. For people who want to say Vancouver's going to be bad, they can say Vancouver's going to be bad. For Seattle fans who want to get hyped up, there's reason to be hyped up based on preseason results. But for me personally, I'm glad Jones had a good game. I'm glad Demko played well. Kuzmenko's 2 goals were nice. Pettersson had a good game. And overall, the better players were the better players. I thought Garland had some good moves tonight as well. Höglander I was watching for. I didn't really notice much from Höglander, but I don't know how much ice time he got, so I'll be checking all the stats. I'll do a stats video in the morning and about tonight's results, and I'll include the Canucks game as well. I won't consider this like an official review of the game or anything. But yeah, so the next game I see will be the game at home against LA. And then I've got tickets for the game against Anaheim in March. And that's it for me with the Vancouver Canucks. So I won't be seeing as much of them this year as I did last year. But, these things happen. All right, guys. It was a fun game. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.